The state attorney's office has fired an assistant prosecutor involved in a pair of early morning car crashes just minutes apart. ABC 7's Ray Collins joins us now with details of this unusual story. Ray?
Scott, Jessie Wiseman is gone, but many questions remain.
Instead, we're offering it, as your Honor knows, 404A is subject to 412.
This is video we found off YouTube of now former assistant prosecutor Jessie Wiseman involved in what appears to be a mock trial around the time of her graduation from Stetson Law School a few years ago. Friday, her boss, State Attorney Ed Brodsky, announced Jessie Wiseman no longer works for him.
We concluded our internal investigation, our internal review, and Ms. Wiseman was terminated from employment this morning.
Brodsky is referring to an incident early Sunday morning, July 17th. According to published reports, Wiseman had been drinking for hours with members of law enforcement in Punta Gorda. During her drive back north on I-75 through Sarasota County, documents say Wiseman rear-ended a car, and that driver called 911 while following Wiseman. They say she got off at the Fruitville Road exit, turned left, and struck a brick sign on the center median while trying to turn right on Cattleman. She later told the Florida Highway Patrol she knew she was being followed and attempted to get to a safe place, but during that time, she didn't call 911.
Obviously, we're disappointed in the actions of Ms. Wiseman. She failed to uphold the very high standards of professional conduct that we expect of all of our prosecutors.
But this is not the first time in the past few months Brodsky has had an issue with one of his prosecutors. Last April, Brodsky parted ways with Hagan Brody, who had practiced with a suspended license. As for Wiseman, Brodsky says the next phase is to figure out if any criminal violations occurred, and for that, he's asking the governor for help.
Because she's our employee, we have a conflict of interest in reviewing that matter, so we reached out to the governor's office to seek an executive assignment so that the matter can be transferred to another state attorney's office for their review.
So in his letter to Wiseman today, Brodsky chastised her for her lack of candor after the incident. And while her colleagues in law enforcement that she was allegedly drinking with that night relied on Uber to get home that night, she didn't do the same. She drove. Wiseman worked in that office for 3 years, Scott.